Hey guys, NQ looks pretty mixed still. Holding day open, but not really respecting our 30-second opening range, high or low. It's kind of chopping sideways. Russell looks the best by far on the 15. Not really much here yet. It looks like unless you want to trade the RTY. I did them. Amen. Yeah, we still need to break this. It's a little stuck here. But this bounce at our weekly AV up and then bid at previous candle POC. Pretty solid. Still need to get out of here before I'm really seeing anything. U15 is opening. Trying to bounce previous candle POC here, but still very stuck. Mm, okay, by you. Really do much. Excellent. So far, really solid bounce off our 30s, previous 15-minute POC. Very choppy. Back up to the top of the range here. into our value high here, 69s. Yes, top of range. See if we can build above value, or if we enter back in and head back down to POC. Retesting value high here on NQ. Not much above 2017 or think of that as your take profit and see ability to build above this POC. Sell side deltas above that. Get a target now. Yeah, we react to these sellers, if anything. Pretty solid rejection off of 2018. $3 minutes, 30 seconds, something. Yes is also at target here, 607.50. We come back down, the watching just our 79 supportive resistance. Forty seconds and teens. gains. Again, our value high edge on views at this 980. Just been watching to see what happens back into this. So far, just flagging outside of value. Waiting to see if the Russell can hold view up and what happens at ES 599, I would assume, off of the failure at 607.50. Just let things build out a bit. We lose me? Try refreshing? I don't know. So far, our 18 rejection holding very well. Back into our value on NQ. Yes, back to our 599. Looks like we're probably coming back down to 95s. Not sure as of yet. All I was sure of was that 18. With the failure at value, though, it makes sense to return. See at a value high. If 55s can hold, be able to get back over 83 or anything there. That'll be our rejection. You see a pretty strong ability to build above this 83, or this again will be where the offer is sitting. See where Sam's second opening range has a tag here. and said 15-second true. Again, like there's just not a lot here until we can make this supportive. This is us outside of value, and now this is us inside of value. What do we see? We have a seller above that we have to push through, or a rotation down makes a lot of sense. This is our value line. So, gotta get back above that, or we've accepted back in our value on the day, which means that rotation back down to POC. Just waiting, because we're stuck in a 10-point range right now. Russell testing our value high now, and our day open. Russell into our 30-second opening range and day open. 1 minute and 35 seconds. Yeah, I think they're just joking, guess. Your first risk off here on NQ if you are playing off this 83 halfway through the range. This is our POC before shift. Secondary target would be 12s. Looks like we have drawn, but gotta keep in mind this POC shift here at 40s on PVZ. See if Russell can get some continuation 40. Just into our 30-second opening range now. Watch for the offer to this POC above at 63. Just watching on footprint. See if sell side can build above that, or if that'll hold as our resistance. We're holding pretty well here. My charts are all on 15-second on chart of 8, other than my footprint, which is on 15-minute. I have an RTY footprint, an ES footprint, and an NQ. For all 15 minutes. Also Dom. Yeah, on one screen. 34. But yeah, just ultra wide. Like being able to have everything on one screen. Retesting our value high edge here on NQ. Again, same as before, I need to see if we can get over this 80. If we can, then the downside pathing validates. Yes, back to top of range here at our 607. Russell attempting to build at 1440, which is big. We can hold our 30-second opening range. We've got potential for ETH high to go supportive, and that goes for a new high. If this kind of chops here, then we have to be careful that we don't enter back in our value for a rotation back down, fill some of this poor structure. But if we can build here and make ETH high supportive, should be able to push up. Respect to resistance here on NQ. Build. Draw try line so we have an understanding. We have NQ attempting to build above. Retesting our value high edge here on the Russell off of our failure to get back over ETH high. No expansion without that push and hold. Yes, still rejecting our 607. No change there. Looks like our rotation is still persisting between 599 and 607. That that 07 supportive. Right? It's rotations. Another rejection of our 83s on NQ. Change back down to our ORM. Watching our Russell pathing here. Into our value low here on NQ. Did risk off. There is no news that I see. But we've been holding the same seller for since open. You know, this is where we watch to see if that reoffer happens on the Russell. Failure to get back over value high. Result in this rotation here. Really keeping our eye on that. See if we get Russell weakness. There really isn't any news today, at least scheduled news. Pretty pretty dead. We just have our bill auction in 17 minutes. Then that's the news for the day. Yeah. Which, I mean, is actually just noise. Yeah, this selection cycle is pretty rough.
Fed bids for 3-month bills total $4.3 billion, and Fed bids for 6-month bills total $4 billion.
Is Tesla still shitting the bed? Is your strategy to trade exactly the opposite of what you say in chat? I'm really the only one that's playing it, to be honest. Rory's been playing Once Human for some reason instead of the beta that ends on Tuesday. I don't really get it. Mario refused to play it. He's obsessed with Once Human. I don't understand. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Very good. But I don't really get why no one's playing the thing that ends on Tuesday. I just like it's kind of blowing my mind. I just wanted to get to endgame to see how it felt because that's really all that matters. I mean, it is really put together. Like I am genuinely surprised how it feels and how like the production quality. I mean, even side quests are fully voiced and have animations sometimes, but they're all fully
It's
voiced.
11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The US sells $76
Like
billion
it
in
is
3-month bills, prior high yield 5.195%, and a prior bid to cover
crazy.
of 2.69. And the US sells $70 billion
It
in
is by
6-month
far
bills, prior high
the
yield
best guild system I've ever seen.
4.985%, and a prior bid to cover of 2.85. We also expect comments from US Vice President and Democratic nominee
No
Harris.
progress after beta. Full wipe. But you can get to level 50 in like I think 15 hours. That's what people were saying. Just doing main story. The main story feels good. Throne in Liberty. It's a beta that was open this weekend. That was what my weekend was. That and helping a friend move, which sucks. What games it's similar to? Like if you ever played an MMO, just any of them. It's probably like most similar to Guild Wars, I guess. But Gav, I was camp. I was gonna say the first word, and then I realized I was streaming, so I can't. So we're just gonna call it camp. NQ rejecting value low so far. Not a lot here, guys. Sucks, but it is what it is. Just looks like we're coming back down to previous day value high here on NQ at 821. Russell rejected our high after a full retrace of the sell.
At 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the US sells $76 billion in 3-month bills, prior high yield 5.195%, and a prior bid to cover of
Yeah, I think you
2.69.
can look for that gap
And
fill
the
if
US sells $70
previous
billion
day value
in
high,
6-month bills,
you lose previous
prior
day
high
value
yield
high.
4.985%, and a prior bid to cover of
It's like we'll get either a
2.85.
bounce
We
here,
also expect
or
comments
we
from
expect kind
US
of some
Vice
chop
President
here,
and
and then a
Democratic
push down to
nominee
POC
Harris.
for gap fill. Later, Cass. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this is so choppy. This offer at it doesn't matter. It was just taken. That stack was kind of weird. All liquidity went away, and there's just like 174. Coming into our target now. See how we react into previous day value high.
Shortly expecting the results of the 3 and 6 month bill auctions.
$20 until new 15s. Target now, previous day value high, new 15s opened. Bit more room on ES, down to 75s, I think, just like before.
Three-month bill high yield 5.19%, 5.19% bid to cover ratio 3.08, 3.08. So the US sells $80 billion in 3-month bills and awards 24.76% of bids at high. And 6-month bill high yield 4.99%, 4.99%, with a bid to cover ratio of 2.85, 2.85. The US sells $74 billion in 6-month bills and awards 56% of bids at high.
This whoop thing really hates my sleep schedule. Man. Imagine though. Just doesn't think I'm getting enough sleep. Wants me to get like 8 hours of sleep. That's crazy. I just have it on like get by basically. It's still like you should get 7 hours of sleep. Like a lot of time. I don't know if the alarm function works. I haven't felt it once. I don't know. Is it supposed to like vibrate? How does it work? Maybe I'll set it for like 10 minutes from now. See if it works. Yeah, I've never double tapped it to turn it off. This is our kind of our inflection point here, guys. We're at our previous state value high. Either we're going to do the secondary pathing that I've drawn out. That'd be my guess if previous state value high becomes resistance here at this 21. I expect a little bit of choppiness, right? And then what we're going to be watching for is from our ADR. Does this build as resistance, and are we failing to get back over for a rotation and gap fill down to previous day POC and value low? Or can we build here, and do we come back up to retest our value before we get our decision? Kind of just what we're waiting for now that we've gotten to PT. I am unsure. Yes, just bottom of range. Same place where we bounced last time. So again, like, our buyers still present here. Are we able to hold yesterday's value low? As of right now, yes. Or sorry, value high. We're still just holding it as supportive. For anything more downside wise, right, we're seeming to see the same thing, which is this becomes resistance, and then we rotate through the range, right? So this would be our node that we're watching to see if it becomes resistance. If that happens, we watch for that continuation down. We can trade that into 58s on ES. Until then, though, like, you're just waiting for a decision to be made here. Is there a reason you switched to 30-second time frame? Because the indicator doesn't work on 15-second. And I was trying the 30-second opening range indicator, but it doesn't work on 15-second. See how it disappears. Gives me an error. Oh, what's up, Julian? When you paper cut your NQ trades, would you stop size? Stop size. Wait, what?
Treasuries
Would
erase
stop
gains. Yields
size?
across the
Would you
curve
say
reached
it
today's
is?
highs.
This shit's hard. I don't have a that amount of ticks, but I usually am stopping within like 5 to 10. Usually within, like, I know I'm wrong within 5 points on NQ, at least short term. I try to stop for break even when possible. If we're just like chopping around though, then I have to like really respect my pivot, and then just it really just depends on the trade. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I try to limit stops depending on size wise to about $200 max of loss before I'm uncomfortable in that position. I know $200 I can make back very easily. But anything more than that, if I have multiple contracts, it is going to get a little heavy. If I have 4 or 5 lots on, right, like, then I'm down quite a bit. So I don't want to be in that situation. So I usually try to enter trades with 2 contracts on and then add size once we're going in the direction that I want, seeing the price action that I want, and then I move stop to break even, basically. But I almost never add more than 2 contracts on sizing. I'm comfortable with a 200 to like 350 $400 loss if need be on those 2 contracts. But I feel like the sizing just is way too over leveraged on 5 contracts at the get go on most things. I don't know if that was helpful, but for me personally, like it's just a emotional response on anything larger than 2 on initial sizing if I'm offside. You have to think I'm not making like 30K in a day, right? So because I trade usually 1 to 2 lots with max size of like 5 lots, um, I need to stay within my risk parameters for the amount of money that I'm making on a daily basis. And unless I'm trading 5 lots every time, having 5 lots on at the beginning of a trade doesn't make sense because it's going to be hard to make up that difference, any losses from that. Because my usual trade size is 2, right? So if I'm taking a 5 contract loss at first hit, now I'm down what $1,000, and I'm taking $200 to $300 trades. So now that one loss from taking an over leveraged position or my usual trade setups, I now have to have 5 winning trades to make up for the loss. It just doesn't make sense. So I usually try to be on the right side of the V, add 2 contracts to the beginning, and then kind of add as we go, or just run with 2 and take one off for like I don't know 15 points, and then leave a runner at break even. Try to go for like 30 or 40 points last contract. That's usually how it ends up. I don't know. Sorry, that's probably a lot. Like these are my trades today to give perspective, and they're like very ranging um, in size. But like if you let your runners run, like you have the ability to kind of really like these are just 1 lot trades in that. But like my runner was able to go, and that was a 54-second trade, and it was $1,400. Like okay, but like I had a 14-second trade that was $85, and I immediately took profit because I just didn't feel like I was right. But just like waiting and being patient, like 1 contract will give me what I need. I don't need to over leverage. I try to focus more on the setup and less about on the size right now. Because I know I'll be able to make this the money that I want to make with proper sizing, with a proper setup, instead of trying to chase smaller rotations with larger size to make money, which I think a lot of other people do. Just like they'll trade 10 lots, but then take profit, 10 points up, but they've made a ton of money, but on a very micro rotation just by over leveraging. So still so far just holding our pivots. 21s on NQ, 75s on ES, just chop. So weird that they make fake profiles with Darian. Do you guys have like a different role than Mario and I? Because I don't think Mario and I have ever had one of those. I'm trying to think of like why they wouldn't. I mean, I'm glad, but like they're very like they just keep trying with you and keep getting banned. Is it because you're first on the list? No, because Tom gets them. So I don't know. I'm looking at like this. So it does, I don't even know then. Don't get it. Yeah, Julian, I mean, I don't know if that was the answer you wanted. I again like I try to really just be as mechanical as I can with my trades, and then like as long as I'm following my risk parameters, things just kind of make sense. So I don't really like over leverage that much. Um, I could be trading a lot larger size, but I'm just comfortable where I am, and I don't see a real reason to add size. Occasionally I will, but I don't think it's really necessary. And as long as I'm like comfortable emotionally and mentally, um, that's really all that matters. Because if I get into like a loop of not being in that position of like calm, then things go wrong. So if I can do everything in my power to maintain that, then I can just kind of leave it up to the setups that I've already taught myself and practiced, right? And just trade that, and things just kind of work out. Whenever I try to do something different in real time, like something new or add size without like a lot of back testing and forward testing beforehand, like I'm just putting myself in a position where like that screw myself over, right? So I'd rather just go for like the compounding mindset and just treat it like a job and call it a day. Keep size small, keep losses small, keep runners running. But that being said, I give back a lot on my runners. Sometimes, I'm giving back 15, 20 points on runners all the time because I let them go back to break even looking for continuation. And that's just part of my risk, though. Like unrealized gains, I get back a ton, but for the potential for larger move. But that's why I usually trade two lots, is so that I can take one off so the contract's free and let one go. And When it pays, it pays. When it doesn't, you know, we go back to break even and it feels kind of bad, but at least I didn't lose money. I want to be taking risks on the right side of the trade, not the wrong side. So I kind of just like chalk it up to just part of the process, you know. I can't really see those unrealized as like, oh, I made this amount. No, that's part of my risk. I found that that's the most helpful for me. Other people might like listen to that and be like, he's stupid. And, you know, to each their own. Like objectively, if you just want to take 15 points, you know, and like not let that go back break even, that's up to you. But like for me, I've seen the benefits of letting a lot of these run and like waiting for continuation to happen. And I think it probably outweighs. I would assume it outweighs. I haven't done enough back testing on a lot of my break evens to go back and be like, oh, maybe if I had just taken the accumulated 15, 15, 15 points, you know, it would have added up to the same amount of that one runner that went 200 points. Uh, Maybe it's adequate. I don't know. But I know that with me still being in a trade and having a plan and like a profit target and letting it ride and letting it kind of like invalidate itself keeps me out from taking more garbage trades chasing because I exited for 15 points instead of letting my runner run, which I think is the biggest help that's ever I've ever done for myself. So like hands off keyboard, let the trade play instead of like exiting for 15 points and then looking for another rotation immediately after. Because now I'm chasing. And if I can prevent myself from taking bad trades, that's just as important. But again, like it's all about like understanding yourself. And for me, I know that about myself. So Russell coming back up to the highs. NQ still holding 21. ES still holding 75s. Still just respecting previous day value highs on ES and NQ. Watch our reaction here on the Russell, see if we reject again. And if that leads to downside continuation on ES and NQ, right, with that being just kind of like top of range on RTY, or if something shifts. Unsure as of yet. We have trap sellers at the lows trying to push below 21s, right? Below 75s on ES, and now we're just back to the top of range in our little local range. Got to get over 64 and make it supportive on NQ for really anything more. Then we can retest 900s. $64 test now. spam calling is getting out of control. And they flood my voicemail. Well, ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, 2 of the 3 of the calls that I've received today have been spam, and 2 of them left voicemail. If I don't delete voicemails within a week, the box is full. What? I know that they're spam too because I don't have the area code on my cell phone is different than where I live in my city. So anyone who's calling from my area code on my phone, I know immediately is spam. I do not live in Georgia anymore. Area code. All right. See if we can hold 64s now for this push back up to our value low at 96 900 area. That's all we're watching for now. Can we build here and get back into value, or is this going to fail? And then are we going to rotate back down to the low of the range off of a failure at the highs to hold highs? Yeah, I'm on some sort of list, Bruce. Same with your brother, it looks like. Some sort of leaked number list. I have to be. It does, but it still rings. It just tells me that it's probably spam. I have Truecaller as well, which blocks it after the first ring. That's why you guys usually only hear the first ring and then it stops. Actually, I don't have a Pixel anymore, Surf. I have a Samsung phone. I haven't had a Pixel, or maybe. But it also has a spam detector thing. I just read your first sentence. Sorry. I stopped at the Pixel after last one. Because I heard the new one wasn't great, so I didn't get it. See if we hold POC here, boys. 64s. We just want to see this hold. This is our area. We've got sell side that we need to contest with up at 8. So just really watching to see if we can get through this seller here. We push up into value. This is our offer. Yeah, maybe that's like a pixel thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a setting. I don't. I'll look. How many numbers do you guys have memorized? Like, do you rely on your phone book? Or do you like have people at all? Or yeah, I just have like immediate family. Money? Wow. So when you're going down your text list, it's just their numbers, not names. I mean, that probably helps you memorize them, to be honest. Not a bad idea. Russell still calling the high so far. Every attempt into this has been our rotation down on NQ and ES. Kind of interesting. This price action for like the last week and a half. It's just not felt good. Watching our 64 retest on NQ. Pretty solid balance off 75s, previous state value high on ES. Retesting POC here into 80s. Just watching our 80 and 64 retests. Do we make a lower high, basically? If offer is now sticking here, we're looking for continuation down, I would say. But a little early. Same thing for ES. We're just watching to see if the 64 holds for a retest of our low. We can get back above. Not a ton here other than that. Waiting. Still really not a great short continuation play until we see the ability to build below previous day. I just understand at this point. Maybe I'll just draw it like this. Look above is important if we now bid it. If not, then it's just going to be seller absorption, and we'll push back down. We want to see a strong bid on the pushover. Same thing for ES, right? Like we want to see 80s now supportive, 64 is now supportive. Pushing into our value low here on NQ. I can see us chopping here for 5 minutes until new 15's open. Just trying to build up this higher low. 1 minute 30 seconds until the 15s. Just flirting with value low here on NQ. Fifteens. This looks good so far, just very slow. Bought out of 15, it's respectable. Still looks like we want to push up into our 900 on U and our 87.75 on ES. Just a very slow grind up. Russell still holding this high, but seller clearly here. Just got to keep an eye on Russell to see if we lose any momentum, just like all these other past attempts up into this high. Yeah, that's where our seller is. So it should be target until we can build above. Into PT here on NQ. Still a little bit more room on ES to target. Russell starting to show some weakness into our 1440, back down to the low of our 30-second opening range. God, this is so slow. are seeing that absorption into our selling deltas to be expected. It's going to be so hard to get this move without, continuation without Russell support. Russell wants to continue to just rotate in this range and fail at these highs. It's going to be, there's just no reason to really look for anything, right? Like, sense. Into our PVZ target here, into our 900s. Russell still not getting straight up into our 30-second opening range. Again, it's going to be hard without Russell building and pushing. Do that. Expect with RTY. And if NQ is flat, then why do we think ES goes up? Need movement, need acceleration, need excitement. No excitement, no trade. $50 until new 15s. Russell still sideways, but showing a bit more weakness at the highs. We're just watching, I think, for pullbacks here into new 15. Value low, trying to hold on NQ. Really important that we see a bid step in to defend our value low here. Need over 95s here, or expect to offer to be sitting there. Get me out of here. Back to our absorption here into 905, 908. Just waiting to see if we can get through. Russell diverging from NQ and ES. If RTY fails to get back over, then we're going to have a larger divergence. And we are looking for a larger rotation down. We need to see the ability for this to build H high. As long as this continues to just kind of reject this high, we are going to have a very hard time trying to expand on. Again, for like NQ, need to get through sellers here. Yeah, it's very boring. For NQ, like we gotta make this supported and recover. If we can bid over day open, we'll look for a continuation like this for rotation back up the previous high. But like this is just our day open, right? We need to see the ability to build back over POC. It can't just be resistance on. If we just continue to see absorption here, like there's no change. What we're looking for if absorption continues to take place here is a dip below our value, this LVN holding its resistance, and then a rotation back down. Right, like these are our two ideas that we need to play off of. Anything else is just chop in between. No, I don't trade forex. I've never traded forex. Commodities, it should work fine with oil, but the oil is a bit more liquid, so you just have to be careful. But no, I haven't really traded anything else. I've used the same principles for crypto though, and they work just fine. Yes. The only thing that's different today, Rob, so far, is that we're above previous day value high. Feels like every other day it's been just rejecting previous day value low over and over and over again. Russell back up the top of range here. Yes, finally at target. Need to make this supportive above this PVZ value. Can we get back into our 30-second opening ranges? Looking for that to rebid and then push and then up into this. This is, we want this to become our new range and start to develop this to our highs if we're going to go higher. Because if not, then this is just going to be another rotation down. Situation where you are looking for possible reversion up, what does this shift down in developing value tell you? I mean, all it's telling us is that there are more people now willing to transact here. So like the auction's widening. I don't know if it really gives me a ton to play around other than the POC shift is important to me because POC shift is two-sided trading, not and we're looking for that to now be like a supportive shift. And I'll usually play any sort of POC shift from a new value. So like on ES specifically here is a great example where we see like POC shift below, and now my upside target on any push up has to be where our POC shifted from. So like we've seen this value shift, and like that's also just our value high on the day, right? But like this has to be our target now. That's usually the only really big thing that I take from it, to be honest. And if this becomes resistance, then it's like, okay, then we have a seller in control and value shifted down, and now we have a secondary leg potentially happening. Same thing with the POC shift, where like our POC, our value high is now where our POC was before. So our auction is shifting down. So we clearly have a seller in control. And so any upside target has to be POC because this is where our value shift has now occurred. Just as like if we shift below it, like I need to now really focus in on sellers being in control if we ever do come back down into here because we're seeing a much stronger value shift from sellers. So like that's really, now that I think about it, that's probably the biggest thing that I look at. Is just like understanding who's in control and like if something does if we do then like make this resistance, like I know sell side's like really in control because we've already seen like a value shift on the day on the daily profile,
and now we're seeing like buyers fail even at this low, and then we're seeing basically what would be considered like the offer stepping down, and then the auction shifting again to a new low. Mario might have a different response, but that's basically all I take out of it. Yeah. I don't really play around with developing value all that much. But I'd like to see how this is where I wish like indicators could be on the DOM as well. Because if like we could have like developing value on DOM, and then I could see the difference between like where current liquidity is being offered on the limits compared to where value is with price action, I think that would be a really interesting comparison between the two. I have to like do more research into it to see how they compare. Because like, is that resting liquidity just like at our developing value? I don't know. It could be. I usually don't touch like these slow grinds. It's so hard to trade if you're not already in a position. Did you say hello, Mario? I don't know if I heard you or not.
Did.
Oh, what's up,
I
man?
did. Not much. Yeah, looks like you guys had a good like hour.
Yeah, and then
That's
that's
whatever this is. What's my take on this? On okay, so what part? Yeah, I know.
the
Like the
sig in this
developing value.
situation. Yeah,
So I don't have like a hard rule for that kind of thing around, but for example, like if you're looking for a long, right, and you see, let's say like, are you can we use today as an example? The POC shift off this upper distribution down? Sometimes that's bullish because you're seeing offside sellers then, and what's creating that quote that value shift, right? That volume shift is that you're exciting new buyers, right? And as the sellers push down, they're there. So it's less about where value is shifting to, it's more about how the auction is actually auctioning that shift of value. Because just because like if value is above us but it's a selling node, or value is below us and it's a buying node, that the position has less importance than the type of auction. Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't think it alone tells me anything.
yeah,
It tells me that there's new participants, which is important, but new participants is not a trade trigger for me, right? Just that alone. I need to see direction and, you know, how they're interacting and etc. etc. So I don't. It's a very nuanced question.
a pattern that I have not looked back on enough to know. if there is any sort of correlation.
Well, because like even today, like if POC drops from this upper distribution down this bottom distribution, okay, like, all right, so that happened. Why? Was it because that there's new sellers who want to push in lower lows? Was it because there's a large buyer who came in on the bid and is holding? Like, it doesn't tell you direction. It just tells you area of transaction. So you have to reprice action at order book to develop like direction and imbalance. It's just telling you there's transactional interest there.
Yeah, like I was telling him, it just becomes like my PT above if we do actually see
Yeah.
that shift. Literally.
Yeah. Because you should expect there to be transactional interest where it was.
Uh-huh.
Like it's
See if we can hold day open now, or if this is just going to reject and make me miserable. Sub dubs. Slow. How's going? Oh, there's new layouts in TradingView. Huge.
new layouts.
Oh yeah, look at that. They added some more. Maybe we try this one with a 3 on the left and then footprint on the right.
Oh, some of these are nice. Yeah, well, the devs just buffed us, man. We gotta take advantage. Huge dev buff. No, I have not seen that calc. I will definitely go take a look at that though. I'm surprised they haven't until now. They literally have it built in. It just doesn't record or like let you type on it. See if they did a good job.
First target here on NQ from hold of day open. You need to see how Russell reacts here into our highs again at 1440. Full fill, it would be into like 960, 970 here for target for POC retest. Just keep that in mind for NQ. If we can build over 40s, that's that secondary move we'll be watching into this, and then we figure out from here where we go. Just that POC shift. Yes, almost into our target. 94s. to our ETHI here on ES, LVN above. Think of that as where your sell side's going to be. NQ almost into target here. Russell pushing. ES into our value high, fill of our LVN. NQ into target, Russell into value high. At this point, you should just be in a runner, move up your stops. Now we look to see if offer holds or if we can make previous sellers supportive. Look above. Not really much else here. Deleting old pathing so I can clean up these messy charts. Yeah, 20s to 60s, not bad. As long as Russell has momentum, we have the ability to keep going. If Russell can't hold these highs, then we're going to have a hard time continuing to push short term. Finally into target here on ES into 599.75. That POC shift. We want to see the ability to build above. Then we can go for 607. Failure to bid and kind of hold tier flag is just going to result in a pushback down to our 94s. Like there's no fun. Just need to see value now hold at the highs.
Some liquidity at 99. So
Yeah.
let's try it up here.
Just for like clarity's sake, like look at PVZ. We got our bid and hold of our 901, which is our value low. We have now traded up into our value high to POC on PVZ, right? So the full move has been captured in this sense. If you didn't get in here at this 900 break and hold over previous seller, we were talking about this 920, this 67 to 60, right? So like, no matter what, either this rotation, the rotation from ORL to this 67, like the rotation's complete until we can see a push over and a build on the node above, in my opinion. Like we gotta see it, which is why I'm saying like being runners until we can see something establish higher. We've seen what happens here. Like if we can build, then we should be able to get at least one more push up to 96. But if this fails to build, like it's just going to rotate back down through our right seen here and here and here. So really want to see if we can build on this edge for continuation. If it's going to need to come down, fill out this. Grab some water now that you're here.
Yep. Liquidity off 99 is switched here. Drew's taken on the bid, filled the offer. That was nice on ES to look down through that LVN towards Globex high and find bid so far, but you need to see a higher high. Full oscillation into 05s.
just feels so cramped, man. Not happening.
What did Garmin do to you, Surf? Oh, that's nice. It's cool. Russell coming into equal highs here. Friday high. NQ tested Friday high. Obviously, you auctioned above this earlier on NQ. Still looking for it on ES. So close here, ES. Want to look over NQ into LVN. See, Aram, I think this is a good example of what you asked me, like right when I got on Sig 2, how on ES his POC has moved back into 5600. So it's just like what that's telling me is like, okay, we just have two very clear auctions, which makes sense on higher time frame as well, right? One under 80 and one into our high pivot at 5600. And so we just watch order book around here because anything, all the prices in between don't matter. And we can see that with price action so far as well too, right? So we just check, does that stay constant? Or do we get a shift? Hopefully my answer, I obviously didn't really hear segs, but was along the lines of what you were actually looking for. Yeah, very good. Bye, Gav. Little attempted look over 05 here. RTY supported breakout. Just auction here on NQ is seeking higher highs, but nothing super substantial. Just into LVN was expected when we talked about this look into 05 on ES. Just watch how these auctions develop here. Not like really, and then like support that for a momentum trade. But more so just watching these auctions and seeing sell pressure. Either wanna leave this node for trades, in my opinion. Direction, do not care.
$77 counterparties take $395.901 billion at the Fed reverse repo operation.
So today will be our last wrap up of